In this video, I'm going to explain you what is the difference between inner join and outer join. But before talking about them, you need to have an idea what is a join and why do we need it. In SQL, since this is for the relational database management systems, the join is used in order to combine, in order to join two separate tables inside of a database. Basically, in a relational database, we have multiple tables. In this example, where I'm going to explain you the difference between inner join and outer join, I'm just going to explain two tables, which are the customer table and then orders table. As you see, these tables are different and both of them contain certain type of information, and you may notice that we have a common field called address ID and here also address ID. In the real database, the name of the columns are not always the same, so it might be different. In this case, address ID is going to be a primary key, and here in the second table, which is orders table, address ID is going to be a foreign key. And inner join basically returns the records that have matching values in both tables, meaning that customer ID number 1 here, address ID is here 5. And when I'm using inner join, it's going to look for the matching values in both tables. So I'm going to look for the number 5 in address ID column in the second table, which is right here. So in my result query set, I'm going to see this row together. Now I'm going to the next row, which is Mary Brown, and the address ID is null. And since it's null and it doesn't match any values in the second table here, it's not going to return it. So I'm going to cross it out. I'm going to the third one, which is Antonia Moreno, and the address ID is 7. I'm going to the table number 2 and looking for the number 7 under the address ID, which is the foreign key. So these two columns are crucial in order to join two tables. If we don't have a primary and foreign keys, we are not able to join them because we just can't match them without any keys. And since there is number 7 address ID, it's going to match with this one, okay? So in my query result set, I will see this address ID number 5 and number 7, which is right here. And I'm going to the next one, which is Barbara Williams, and she has address ID number 8. So I'm again going to the orders table and looking if there is address ID number 8. And if there is, in our case there is 1, it's going to return this row together with this one. And the same with Ann David. She has null, so it's not going to be displayed in my query result set. Okay, let's go to the next slide, and you see here the result. Mark, Antonio, and Barbara are here, so address IDs where the matching values are there. So the query syntax is going to be like this. So you select from the address, which is table number 2 here, address, and you inner join with the another table, which is the customers table right here, okay? And as I mentioned before, you are going to use these two common columns in order to match the values from two tables. But you see that there is a problem with the address ID repeating columns. If you don't want to see them instead of the star, you are going just to specify the certain columns, certain fields that you want to see like here. So I'm writing here select, and I'm selecting only first name, last name, address, and then the ID here. Now I'll go to SQL Live and show in practice some more examples. Here I'm using HR database. I'm going to show you the structure right here. So inside of the HR database, I have countries table, I have departments table, I have employees table, jobs, job history, and here's regions table, locations table. So if I want to join locations and regions, I'm going to use the SQL joins. And in this example, I'm going to demonstrate to you how it works. First, I'm going to join countries and regions table. But before that, I will display countries and regions table to see what column is a foreign, can be a foreign and primary keys. So in country ID, in country table, we have these three columns, which is the region ID, country name, country ID. And since I want to use it with join with regions table, I'm going to use this region ID column as a primary key, and here's region ID is going to be a foreign key. Okay, and my next query is right here. So I'm selecting certain columns, which are the country ID, country name, region ID, and region name. And I'm selecting it first from the countries table, which is this that I showed you. And I'm using inner join because I want to return only the matching values. And I'm putting here the regions table. So, and there is a keyword which is on. So I'm joining it on the region ID from the countries table and region ID from the regions table. As I mentioned before, the name of the columns might differ, and instead of region ID, there could be just the region or region name. So I'll show you one more example right here. So let's run it and see the result. So this is our first query, this is our second query, and this is what we wrote. And you see that it joined country table with the region table. In our region table, which is this one, we don't have any country columns, right? And when we used inner join, we were able to join this table and this table. Okay, so now it shows only the matching values from both of these tables. I'll comment out this query, and I'm going to join with another table, which is locations table. And I'm going to join locations table with countries table. Okay, so I'll comment out regions. Let's run this query. Okay, so here I'm selecting only the city, country name. So city is in my locations table and country name is in my countries table right here. So I'm going to use here inner join, and I'm joining them on country ID fields. So let's run it and see the result. First we see the countries table. I'm going to zoom it in. This is the countries table, and the second one is the locations table. And from here I want to get the country name and the city name from this table right right here. And this is the join, where I joined two tables and I retrieved the city name and country name, and it returned only the matching values. Well, that's it about inner join, and I hope that I was able to explain you how to use inner join